Are you killing your clothes? Many people do. This is Sensei Tosh from MedPro Dojo. I want to talk about minimizing what the patient's sharing with you unknowingly, because I listen to hundreds of recordings every single week, every single month. And so I want to tell you some of the things that I run into. One is not properly acknowledging the patient. When they tell you something negative or horrible or how they're limited by their symptoms, let's make sure to stay there for a moment and really acknowledge, that's terrible, that's horrible, I'm so sorry to hear that. How do you live like that? My goodness, really? Are you serious? You see all of these words that are coming out, they need to be drilled on, because if you're naturally a happy, positive person like myself, I always want to take the positive approach to it. That is not the right place when you're in consultation. You even see how my body language change. I shrink down a little bit. My tone minimizes, my facial expressions. Let them know what they're saying is not a good thing. So you have to know your script backwards and forwards. We did a recording on this a while ago called The Why Behind the Words. You need to understand the why behind the words, but you also need the words to help you go through this process with the patient. You need to know them so well so that you can be in present time consciousness with them and be totally anchored into what are they saying to you, and know, oh, I need to stop here. This is really important. Sometimes when you're so stuck on the script because you don't know it like the back of your hand, you're moving on to the next question. They just gave you a golden nugget of why they're there and what they really want to handle. And you're like, oh, okay. So let me ask you this other question. But they just gave you something emotional, something to get anchored into, and you moved right past it because you're thinking, oh, I got to ask this next question. One thing that is detrimental that I'm hearing so much in the recordings that have been coming across my emails lately is the word okay. 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 Oh, it affects you like that. Okay. Oh gosh, you're not able to play with your grandkids. Okay. Stay away from the word okay. Subconsciously, you're telling the person it's okay when it's not. So please make a list of negative acknowledgments and work on those, because that's appropriate for that person to know, hey, this is not correct. So the way we handle people in our offices, especially in integrated offices, is taking a holistic approach. And we do need to understand physically, emotionally, mentally, recreationally, familially, how it's having an impact in these areas. And we really need to be quiet and listen, ask good questions and listen. They're going to tell you what you need, but you got to be able to hear what they're saying by listening, staying anchored in with them, knowing your script so well, and knowing when to pause and to stay with a certain thing, or when to move forward and ask the next question. So please make sure you're not killing your own clothes. Okay, when we say close, it's not because we're so dialed in on the sales process, but we're going to close them to a better opportunity at life. Okay, so it's not just about the person starting on care for stats or income or anything. That's not where it's at. This person came in with a problem, and here's your opportunity to save and transform their lives. So don't kill it by not giving proper acknowledgments. Don't kill it by bringing in your own personal testimony and your own story. Keep it anchored in on them. The script is there to be a tether to pull people back in, to say, hey, I'm really glad you're here. I'm sorry to hear that's happening with your husband, your neighbor, your friend, whatever. But now is the time I want to talk about you. Obviously, you wouldn't say whatever, but they're going to give you 10 million things of who this is going on with everybody else. Barbara, I'm so glad that you've shared that with me, and I would love to have the opportunity to take care of your husband or your friend, whoever they're talking about. But right now, I really want to get anchored in on how this is having an impact on your life. That's how we move forward. So ask good questions, Get anchored in, stay away from questions that minimize, stay away from talking about yourself or other people when it's not appropriate. There is times to bring that in, maybe at the report of finding you're really close and maybe you need to share a testimonial or a video that somebody else with their similar thing has come in and gotten great results. But other than that, staying anchored in with the patient, listen to what they're saying, ask the right questions, get to the heart of it so you can help to transform their lives for the rest of their lives. Thanks so much for being here. Be blessed, be a blessing. We'll see you next time.